he sang songs about masturbation.
Yes.
Every song's about masturbation if you try hard enough.
Come on, The Strokes. This week on Trees in Space, Jason and I watched the 2024 fantasy comedy Ricky Stanicky. I'm Nate. Holding that jerk shirt is Jason.
That jerk shirt, baby.
Just
yeah. We're getting right back into Snicky. Ricky Snakey.
I want you to like and subscribe and follow our channels. We are on TikTok at Trees in Space. Trees _in_ space is also going to.
Yes, and please feed the algorithm monster because he gets hungry. He's starving right now. And so this movie, and I do have a problem with it though. It starts with them, burning crap on on someone's door, like the ding dong ditch, and the guys. Right. And so they create this guy named Ricky Stanicky who got in trouble for it, and they kept him alive and well, and like they went through the effort of doing a Instagram and everything else for Ricky Stanicky, making him amazingly human. Or not amazingly human, but an amazing human.
Yeah, it's the best friend, the greatest friend they've never had.
To Ricky Stanicky.
To Ricky Stanicky.
The best friend we never had.
Exactly. And this is 20 years now, and neither wife or boyfriend, because there's a boyfriend here, ever met the man. Now, I've been married before. Nate's been married. You can tell me that someone that's close, that is that close to you for 20 years, and they never met your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend? That's the most unbelievable part of this movie.
No, actually, I believe it.
I mean, really? Say a childhood friend of yours right now said they had cancer. You had to fly out. Would you fly out and she still wouldn't have met him? Would they been there? Because Ricky Stanicky is so close to them, they can drop whatever they're doing, whether it's a birth of a child.
I think it's the fact that he only has this window of availability, and that, like, I don't know, the way I pictured it, because I can relate a little bit, not to the fact that I've made up somebody, because as you said, and I've never had tossed burnt dog shit on somebody's front porch, even though they did have candy.
I plead the fifth.
But I think the amount of effort they really put into it, like the Bible, I think is what they called it.
Yeah, they wrote down everything that I remember.
The sheer fact that they went so meticulous in every single ounce of detail, to the point where they could get John Cena which was Rock Hard Rod.
I will give credit for the writer on that one. He sang songs about masturbation.
Yeah.
Every song's about masturbation if you try hard enough.
Come on, The Strokes.
It just writes itself. Go ahead.
They were so specific that they were able to give this book to this guy, this actor, and he created an entire person. Like,
he became Ricky Stanicky.
Right. Of a way to live a better life.
Right.
Right. And the only difference, really, and I kind of agree, is I loved how John Cena was able to portray going through the rehab thing, or like withdrawals. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Well, I mean, I enjoyed it too. And like you were saying, like there's some serious subject matters involved in this movie, and I guess for all movies are that way. There's some serious subject matters. I mean, no matter what you do, if you're doing comedy, you got to have some seriousness, and otherwise it won't be funny. They met him at a casino because they lied to the wives about watching a concert. They're 35 years old, and they got lied to their spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends about going to Atlantic City to see some guy, a DJ. Not even Taylor Swift. Not even Taylor Swift. The wives would have came for that. But it must be nice to have that kind of money to be able to leave whenever you want to. That must be nice. And they just ran off there and met him. And then why do they have to create the real person? I can't remember. The bris?
Yes.
Bris? And I've never attended a bris. Have you ever attended a bris?
No, but the I wish I could remember his name. The Moyle. I'll insert the name somewhere around here, of who that guy was.
The actor. He sounded like he's on Big Mouth.
Yes, he's the hormone monster, I believe. Maybe.
Maybe he's
no. The coach. The basketball.
Oh, he's a coach. He is a coach. Yes, he is. I always thought when you do a bris, because you're removing, for those that do not know, you're removing the foreskin off the penis of a child. Now, you're supposed to cut around the lip, if you will, the rim of the head. I don't know how he did it with freaking cigar cutters. I mean, did he pull it forward and cut it? Is that how that works?
I don't know. I think maybe the Moyle may have. Did like a nice little slit because it was like a half a circum.
Right.
And
half a circum.
all Ricky had to do was just go and snip whatever was left. The flash forward real fast when the wife finds out that this man never circumcised anybody, and the comeback was like, well, he worked at whatever roast beef.
Arby's, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you're sleeping in the yard for 6 months.
For 6, yeah, that was great. And he said, that's fair. That's fair. I
loved it.
Okay, you know what? I was saying before, probably off air, that for how easy it was for these wives and girlfriends and boyfriends to forgive their husbands for this 20-year lie was too easy. But making your spouse sleep outside in a tent for 6 months, okay, if that actually happened, then that's probably pretty fair. And then they did just have a baby together. And did you not see that when he recorded, like, what I gotta do to ask for a raise, and he recorded it? Did you not know that was gonna come back? You knew that was coming back, right?
I had no idea. I forgot. Like, I forgot it was still on.
I knew it immediately. And I thought it was gonna get him in trouble, not get him out of trouble. And I will say that I'm starting to do Donald Trump. I will say that about this movie. Instead of, they subverted my expectations. You know, you expect, the big, like, everyone is destroyed, and then something happens, everyone comes together. The whole recording did not destroy his family or his wife and him. It got them back together.
Yep.
Him telling the truth about who he was made him the hero. And, when Zac Efron tells everyone, I lied to everyone, and he walks out, what's his name doesn't show up and becomes Ricky before he gets a chance to say it, and says, I am actually Ricky, and then everyone believes him. That didn't happen, which I expected it to happen. So it subverted my expectations. I'm very proud of it for that.
Yeah, I honestly had no idea where this movie was going, and it could have been shorter.
Oh, okay, I agree with you 1,000% on that. They could have killed a good hour off of it. No,
at least 20 minutes, 10 minutes.
It could have been an hour and a half. It did not need to be almost 2 hours long.
Yeah, it was a little too long because it got to a point where I was like when Ricky leaves, like, oh, they could have just seriously ended the movie right there. That was brilliant. I was like, that's fun. And I was like, oh, I got more movie. All right, well, I got a second part. So I was like watching the second part of the movie. And then
they stretched it out longer than it's an Amazon movie, right?
Yes.
Me and Nate were doing this earlier in the video.
Just air dicking.
We were air dicking, and that was part of this movie, and I will keep that part of this movie in my repertoire of funny things forever. I will start doing this, and I'm telling you, what I'm talking about all the time.
Together, we will do this together.
Yes, because what happened was that's what John Cena got hired by the same company that the other guys were working for, and
Something financial.
right, and he's like, hey, he's air dicking. What? And he's doing this. He's talking, like Obama does this, Trump does this. Well, this guy was doing this. And he goes, that's why nobody wants to work with him, because he's air dicking. And he goes, there's nothing wrong with that. He goes, I know, both my sons are gay. And my other son, well, he's figuring it out. I know.
The fact that it was just he was just so. How did he get there? He's got to be intelligently dumb.
He has to be, because he learned stuff. Well, he's an actor. He says he reads it and he learns it. So that's what he did when he got the Bible. He knew how to do those things.
No, not John Cena. Was John H. Macy or?
Oh, yes. I love him as an actor. I will say, yeah, but go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, the one part I was like, that wasn't necessary at all, and this is a very nitpicky part, when he froze and he was like this, and he was like this, and he says, now it looks like I'm cupping the balls. Hey, guys, you don't have to specify to your audience that's what it looks like. Everyone knows that's what it looks like. For you to say that, to try to feed us that's what that looks like, you have no respect for your audience. We know what it looks like. He could have just went, oh my God, can you please get rid of that? We would have known. You didn't have to. That's the only part. Like, you didn't have to specify. You didn't have to spoon feed us that.
I giggled. I thought it was cute. If I kind of put myself in his position, be like, oh yeah, now I'm cupping the balls. Like, what the hell? Like,
oh my Lord, my friend, that you weren't even trying to act. That was a better acting performance than Macy did.
Oh, good. Now it looks like I'm cupping the ball.
And now let's see what Rotten Tomatoes and the audience scored this movie. Surprisingly to me, Rotten Tomatoes scored this at 47%, while the audience, they rated it at 73%.
Why are you surprised that the Rotten Tomatoes at like 47%?
I think it was a little light. I think it should have been up more course to like 52, 3%. I would have expected.
Oh, okay. So
a huge bump by 10, but it's enough.
Just a bump. I get it.
These 5-star and 1-star reviews.
Yes, sir.
Peter D here with the first of the 5-star reviews. It's totally in the gutter, but it's hilarious. I wasn't expecting much, but laughed my ass off the whole movie. It was non-stop comedy gold.
I wouldn't say it was comedy gold. It's definitely gutter though. Hilarious. I laughed a few times.
It made me laugh quite a bit, and like actually laugh, and that is really hard to do.
That is true. 1 star or less. And you see, wouldn't watch it again. That's I mentioned this the other day when we actually did Goons. A lot of these reviews are not reviews. They're just like, great movie, shitty movie. I mean, tell us a little more.
Thomas H. I haven't laughed at a movie in such a long time. Andrew Santino was great.
Andrew Santino was not great. You said that he was a podcaster?
Comedian podcaster, yeah.
Yeah, he should stick it at being a podcaster, because acting is not his thing. He was fine. He was absolutely fine. Leo M. There are some bad movies worth watching. This one stole 114 minutes of my life, which I will never recover. The best written part of the film was the credits, because it signified the movie was over. Oh, Leo, damn. Oh, it was too long. I think me and Nick discussed it was too long, but I wouldn't say it was. I mean, if you're like, if you're not doing anything, you're like, I need to watch something, blah, put it on. But, just put it on. Just watch it. It's not that bad of a movie.
The last 5-star review comes from Movie God. John Cena is the greatest actor of the 21st century. 5 stars.
I don't even know if John Cena is the greatest wrestler of the 21st century. So, Paul M. It was probably the dumbest movie in history. What is with these extremes? Do not waste a second of your time. It is a horrible movie. Okay, Paul, apparently your wife left you for John Cena. That's all I can say. Or Zac Efron, I'm not sure.
The WTF review came from Chaz J with a 4-star review on March 7th of 2024. Some real funny laughs in this cheesy feel-good movie. And honestly, I think this is a perfect, wonderful review of this movie.
I agree. There was some really funny laughs. It was. It's a cheesy and it's a feel-good movie. There's nothing. It's a tad long, but it's a perfectly adequate movie to me. And I mean,
we've heard from the critics. We've heard from Rotten Tomatoes, the audience. Now let's get into what we feel about this movie. I actually agree with the review that we just heard. It was, to me, a breath of fresh air in the comedy world. Like, they don't make many of these kind of movies that often anymore. Like, I feel like in the early aughts, they were more frequent, and that was when, like, I loved my movies. And now they're just kind of like reboots and just stale content. And with that, I am going to give this 3 trees.
You brought up a really good point about the early aughts. For those that don't know, that's 2000s. Aughts is 00 for those that do not know, which is the more you know. Anyways, that's so I can remember. But you brought up a really good point about the aughts, and that's when these type of comedies were really big because let's face it, people were not nearly as sensitive, or maybe people were just not as knowledgeable that people were being sensitive. I'm not sure. You don't see this kind of what?
They weren't aware of
right
things.
You don't see this kind of comedy now anymore because they're worried about offending a lot of people. Because a lot of people can be offended from this, from the guy that he was alcoholic and got sober. They made fun of his alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
They could be upset about that. The wokeness, if you will, of the gay couple, which I thought was fine. I mean, it wasn't
portrayed it perfect.
Right, it wasn't pushing anyone's face. It's just what it was, and
yeah, and so, all relationships were that way. They didn't like all the marital relationships were just secondary characters.
Right, they were just part of the story, and no one gave a damn about it like they would have in 2000. Somebody would have made a joke about it. So you're right. This is a very good movie that would have been released in 2003 or something, but it was released now, so I'm glad they had the guts to do it. I enjoyed it. I thought everyone played a great part. I thought Zac Efron's wife, I can't remember her name. God, she's gorgeous, but she did an excellent job. And the whole duck on the golf ball was a humorous part.
Oh, yeah.
But I am not going to put it up to the same place you did. I'm going to drop it probably half a stump and give it 2 trees, 1 stump because it's worth watching again. But I have a question for you.
Sir.
Would you recommend this to your surgeon?
I would. I actually would. I feel like this would be. I would encourage him to watch us first, and our to have him prepared for the movie. I think the fact that it's just Ricky Stanicky, like I think they could like. I understand the title, but like I don't know. It just what is this movie? Like, so, what about you?
Well, seeing how I've recommended so many movies lately to my surgeon, I don't want to overbury him with so many movies. But if he said, "Hey, man, any movies that you'd like recommend I watch this weekend?" I'd tell him, yeah, put on Ricky Snakey. You know, you'll enjoy it. It'll be fine. I mean, I wouldn't be like, you need to watch this movie, but I'd be like, yeah, I would.
Yeah, it's a feel good comedy. You'll
It's a
check
fun time.
a little bit. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good romp.
It is.
Thank you everyone for taking this voyage with us on Trees in Space. Tune in next time, same channel, 7 a.m. Eastern here on Trees in Space. I've been Nate. That's been Jason. Take care, everybody.
What?